YouTube star Omi and a Hellcat indicted in a $30 million TV piracy scam. So a famous New Jersey YouTuber was arrested by the FBI and charged in one of the largest illegal TV pirating rings ever. Known to his over 800,000 YouTube followers as Omi and a Hellcat, for his high-end luxury vehicles collection, Bill Omar Carrasquillo, 34, is charged with conspiracy to commit copyright infringement, tax evasion, and fraud for his illegal online streaming service websites. Partners Jesse Gonzalez, 42, of Pico Rivera, California, and Michael Barron, 36, of Richmond Hill, New York, have also been charged. According to the 69-page, 62-count indictment, the partners ran an illegal streaming service from 2016 to 2019 at various times called Reboot Gears TV, Reloaded, and Gears Reloaded that offered subscribers all-inclusive access to content from the likes of Comcast, Verizon Fios, and DirecTV, HBO, and others for as low as $15 a month. Prosecutors allege they collected over $30 million in subscription fees, which they tried to hide by distributing to various apps and bank accounts. Carrasquillo, who live-streamed his arrest Tuesday, claims that he paid subscription fees for all of the subscriptions and content services that he later broadcast out to his thousands of subscribers. So in November of 2019, Carrasquillo's home was raided by federal agents who seized $35 million in assets and 57 luxury cars, including Lamborghinis, Bentleys, and Rolls Royces. They came back for things they alleged I did. The copyright infringement. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, obviously, he told Fox 29 outside of his home in Swedesboro, New Jersey on Wednesday. Just a day after his arrest, we're going to have our day in court now. He said he doesn't believe he's completely innocent, saying ignorance is not an excuse for the law. I found a loophole and I ran through it and I did great. There are other colleagues in the same business I was in and they'd never got in trouble with the FBI, he told Fox 29. Bradley S. Benavides, acting head of the FBI's Philadelphia office, told the Philadelphia Inquirer, "You can't just go and monetize someone else's copyrighted content with impunity. Theft is theft, and if you're going to willfully steal another party's intellectual property, the FBI stands ready to step in and shut you down," he said. Dante Mills, Carrasquillo's lawyer, told the Inquirer Wednesday that at the time there was no law explicitly prohibiting how it operated. There was no regulations when he did it, Mills told the paper, and we will prove the charges he received do not apply to his conduct. Carrasquillo said that the arrest was a relief. I didn't know what was going on for 2 years. No answers, no nothing, he said. So finally, I get to not be depressed, not be stressed out anymore. Now I'll get my day in court. Carrasquillo seems to be prepared to go to prison, according to his videos on YouTube in which he openly discusses his legal troubles. You gotta be humble in victory and humble in defeat, he said in one video after the 2019 FBI raid. I'm going to do a couple years off of this. I'm going to go to jail for a couple years. And here's the thing. I believe there was actually a video where he talked about it very openly, saying hey, I am prepared to face whatever consequences that might come my way. So it'd be very interesting to see what ends up happening, because everyone deserves their time in court, regardless of what they did. But either way, it's going to be interesting. And to make the amount of money that he did in such a quick amount of time, of course the government is going to be looking harder into someone like him than someone who's making $5 selling a pack of cigarettes on the side of the street or something by a gas station, right? The amount of people may not want to admit this, but the FBI is most likely going to go after bigger numbers, a bigger catch than a small one, a small time score, right? Because just think about it. Do you think the FBI is going to go after someone who's maybe only making like $1,000 doing what Omi did? Or someone who made $30 million plus doing what he did, you know? So it just comes down to like, who are they really going to invest the resources, the time, the energy into trying to get, right? So that's another way to really look about it as well. That being said, I don't know how he necessarily manages money, right? I don't know his true financial situation, but based off this statement, right, where he says like, basically $35 million in assets with 57 luxury cars, right? I hope he paid all these cars in cash, right? Even though, it was seized, right? But let's say everything he did was legitimate, right? If he made $35 million and he wanted to buy 57 luxury cars, even though I think that is a bad financial decision, if he paid for all of it in cash, right? And he had a massive emergency fund and he had massive amounts of money in investments to where he could literally burn or destroy all 57 luxury cars and it not actually financially affect him at all, then I'd be, very careful, right? Like, because like if he could do that in that situation, then it's actually a smart financial. Well, it's not necessarily smart, but it's not a bad financial decision, right? Because here's the thing. Everyone should manage their money in a way to where they have the freedom to go and buy what they want or to go and do what they want, right? So let's assume that he did everything legitimately, right? If he wanted to buy 57 luxury cars, there's nothing wrong with that if he bought for all of them in cash. And the reason why I'm pushing that is because debt is one of the easiest ways for someone to completely destroy themselves financially, right? Debt will literally make anyone a slave, right? The whole saying, you are a slave to the lender, right? So when you buy things in cash and it doesn't affect you badly in any way, right? Like it's basically like saying, okay, let's say that you're making $200,000 after taxes in a year, right? Every year. And you wanted to just go and buy a $50,000 brand new Mustang GT, right? Well, you could literally just put that Mustang GT in front of your house, in the road, light it on fire, have it explode, where it doesn't do any potential damage to any other place, right? And literally not care about it at all, right? You could end up buying, a $50,000 brand new Mustang, park it in front of your car, pay someone $100 to just hit it with a sledgehammer for 24 hours and not be affected by it at all. That's what I'm really talking about, right? Like you want to get to that position in your life financially that you could go and do something like that and literally not care. Like you do not want to have to stress about your financial decisions. You want to get yourself in a place where you can live a life that's debt-free, that you have money in the bank, so you're not stressed about your next meal or whether or not you're going to lose your house from a foreclosure or something like that, or that you can pay a rent, right? And that you basically have your future guaranteed by consistently investing automatically. You want to get your finances in that sort of way so that you never have to live a life of basically no freedom, right? You want to have that like weight lifted off of you. So if you want to get out of debt, go to 40bucks.com.